The irony is not lost on me that I talk about finding food freedom and developing good body image while I'm sitting here as a thin woman. Easy for me to say, right? You can develop confidence at whatever body your body naturally settles at when you have a healthy relationship with food. Easy for me to say. I want to start this off by thanking all of you, because in my time of doing this over the last few years, making these videos, providing the help and the insights that I try to, not one of you has ever commented on my channel, "That's easy for you to say, Rach, you're thin." And you could have done, but you didn't. So why am I bringing it up now? Well, even though no one's asked, I think that it's probably crossed a lot of your minds. Does she have good body image because she has good body image, or does she have good body image because she ended up losing weight once she developed a healthy relationship with food? I would have that question, and I thought that it would be helpful to make a video on this topic, answering the question of how do I know I have good body image? And the reason why I thought this would be an interesting and helpful thing to discuss is because by answering that question, you'll have, if you need it, a better sense of what having good body image feels like, looks like, and what it means. I know that the concept of good body image, regardless of how your body looks, can seem like such an alien concept. And if it remains such an alien concept, then it can be difficult to find the courage or the motivation or the willingness to begin the journey towards a healthy relationship with food. So how do I know I have good body image? I'm going to demonstrate it to you with examples rather than telling you. A few days ago, I was walking around, just had my knickers on, and I caught sight of my bum. And I used to have a much bigger bum, a much rounder bum when I was larger and was also going to the gym a lot and lifting heavy weights. And in that moment, I caught sight of my bum and I was like, it's flatter than it used to be. And there was it'd be nice if it was bigger and rounder again. No insecurity, no shame came up, no judgment on it, but the thought and the feeling of it would be nice if it was bigger and rounder. I was like, well, I could go back to the gym and lift heavy weights again and get a rounded bum back. I could do that. No one's stopping me. Is that something that I want to do? And I followed up with, no. If you ever sign up to the program that we have, or if you've been through it, then you'll see and you'll know I talk about this specific example. Because as I was developing the program, that's when I was deciding to step away from the gym because I was no longer enjoying it. So I didn't want to spend my time doing something that I didn't enjoy. And I knew the sacrifice that I was making at that time. If I stopped lifting heavy weights, my bum is going to get flatter. Pros versus cons. The cons are, if I go to the gym, that's going to take 3 hours of my life every week and I'm not enjoying that time. The pros are, I have a rounder bum. Gains versus sacrifice. And at that time, I was like, it's not worth it to me. And I knew that my bum was going to get flatter and I accepted that that was going to happen. So when I was looking in the mirror briefly the other day and I saw a flatter bum, my attitude towards it is, what would be the point of being upset about it? What would be the point of putting myself down for it? What would be the point of making myself feel insecure or less than for it? I have made a choice based on gains versus sacrifice. Nothing in life is perfect. I can't have it all. So if we take that and then imagine, this is what I was explaining to my boyfriend the other day. If we imagine I continue to have a healthy relationship with food, I'm taking the very best care of myself that I can. And for some reason, maybe pregnancy, maybe age changes, maybe hormonally, maybe I get sick, whatever. For some reason, my body changes. I would first check in, be like, do I still feel like I have a healthy relationship with food? And if the answer to that is yes, then that is the body that I have when I have a healthy relationship with food. So to try to change my body outside of that would mean that by default, I no longer have a healthy relationship with food. And sacrificing on that is something that I'm absolutely not willing to do. Why? Because having a healthy relationship with food means that I have my mental freedom. I can do other stuff. I can concentrate on my life or whatever it is I want to put my attention to. It means that I trust myself. It means that I feel in healthy control. It means that I have peace. It means that I can enjoy food. And if my body changed aesthetically, I'm not talking about physical health here. If my body changed aesthetically, nothing in my life would change. Nothing. I would still have the same friends. I would still get up and go to work in the same way. I would still be able to go to the beach and have fun. I would still be able to go shopping. I'd still be able to wear clothes that I like. I'd still have my style. I would have everything the same. Nothing in my life would change. unless I let it, of course, which is kind of a separate discussion, but hopefully you know what I mean by that. And it's the main reason why I brought it up to my boyfriend, because it's a fairly new relationship. And if he were to walk out because my body changed, sorry, my camera died. As I was saying, I don't think that he actually would. But nevertheless, I didn't want to make any assumptions. If his attitude towards me was going to change, or if he was going to have different feelings about the relationship or about me, firstly, I want to know that straight up, right? But secondly, that would mean that there would be a price to pay for my body changing. And I refused to put myself in a position where that could exist. So I was getting it out on the table early, just to make sure that he understood that and he was supportive of that. And he got that loud and clear. And this also demonstrates in part, because this is a common misconception, having good body image to me does not mean that I think that my body is perfect. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't change things about it if it was offered to me for free, right? If someone on the street was like, Rach, I'll give you a bigger, more round bum. It's not going to cost you anything at all, not your time, not your money, nothing. You can just have it. I would take that deal. So how it feels for me is I have a preference on how I look, just like I have a preference on the color of my walls, or how I like to color my hair, how I like to cut my hair, on the way I like to be communicated to. Anything, I have a preference. And at the same time, my body doesn't determine what I think of myself, what I feel, what I do, what I wear, and what I go after in life, and what I feel I deserve to have. Right now, for example, I mentioned in one of my recent videos, I had a mole removed on my eye. So at the moment, I can't wear any makeup on my face. And I've got a burn mark, which you'll see is black there on my eye. I have a preference to not have that. I have a preference to be able to wear a little bit of makeup, and I have a preference to not have a black mark on my eye. And at the same time, it hasn't stopped me doing anything. It hasn't changed me making videos. It hasn't changed me attending meetings. It hasn't changed me going out. It's changed nothing about what I do. It hasn't changed what I think of myself. It hasn't changed how I feel. How else does good body image show up? Another way which it showed up recently, actually, I was feeling very bloated one day. And for the vast majority of my life, back when I used to struggle, that would have meant putting on something really baggy to hide it. I worked so hard on my conditioning when I was developing good body image that now when I feel bloated, I get the immediate follow-up cue of, well, that means I'm going to wear something super tight and I'm going to let my tummy relax. I'm almost going to not show it off, because it's not intentionally to show it off, but it's like, I'm not just going to let it be. I'm going to embrace it. It's not me being proud of my tummy in that situation. It's a pride in my ability to be able to be comfortable doing that. Good body image to me shows up in choosing clothes because I like the style of them. I like the colors. I like the patterns. I like the cut. I like the creativity aspect of it. When I had negative body image, it was all about trying to make me look as thin or as small as possible, or cover up. And good body image also shows up in the thoughts that I don't think primarily. I'm not looking in the mirror every day being like, I love the way that my body looks. I like this, I like this. I'm not giving myself affirmations. That's not the way that it shows up for me. It shows up in the things that I'm not doing and not thinking. I used to think about my arms all the time when I was sitting in front of someone, very self-conscious of them. Now, if I'm talking to someone, I'm not thinking about my arms. I'm thinking about what it is that they're saying, what I'm saying, or if I'm having a good time. When I had negative body image, I used to feel fat all of the time. Now I feel my actual emotions. When I had negative body image, I was thinking a lot about how my body, different parts of my body were looking to other people and trying to stand in certain positions that made me feel more comfortable, I guess. Now with good body image, I'm focused on the activity at hand or the person at hand. I'm present and engaged, as it were. When I had negative body image, I would go to the scale every morning, I would weigh myself, and that told me how confident I was feeling for the day. Now with good body image, I check in with myself. How am I feeling? What do I need? What do I want right now? Before, when I had negative body image, my energy and focus was going hardcore 90 to 100% of the day on weight loss plans, fitness plans, trying to chase a certain body type. That was always the goal. That was always the focus. Now I think about my goals in life, what's important to me, what I want to focus on that day in terms of like the things that I've got to do. I think about my friends. I think about my career. I think about how aligned I am with my values at the moment. When I had negative body image, my relationship with people and men was very much about how can I be impressive to them? How can I be as attractive as possible and as valuable and as impressive as I can be to them? Now with positive body image, the way that I view relationships is I'm me, I've got my values, I've got my opinions, I've got my preferences. Do we align together on those things? Do I feel supported in my relationships? Does the other person feel supported? Are we having fun? Are we enjoying our time together? But that in a nutshell is how I know I have good body image, how I know that my good body image is independent of what my body looks like. Let me know what it brings up for you. No matter what that is, whether you found it helpful or frustrating in some way, whatever is brought up for you, I'd be very interested to hear. I think it's a very important discussion to have, and this is a discussion. If you found this interesting or helpful, then I highly recommend that you watch this video. I'll also link it down below. In that video, we're specifically looking at this concept of detachment, and that's hugely relevant because I view having good body image as having a detachment from our body. My body doesn't determine what I think of myself. My body doesn't determine what I feel, what I do, what I go after in life, what I feel I deserve to have. And in there, we're talking about how it makes total sense why we attach things like our confidence, our ability to like ourselves, our ability to live life to the fullest, our ability to have fun on things like having a certain body type. So if you're interested in this topic at all, I highly recommend that you watch that video. Again, I'll link it down below. And as always, if you want to learn how to develop a healthy relationship with food, how to develop good body image, I will leave that hour-long lesson that I've created down below. That lesson is a summary of the entire process that our clients and myself have used to develop genuine food freedom, develop confidence. If you haven't seen it, I'm told that it's very helpful. So you can check that out if that would be supportive for you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.